It's a long way from the Kennedy Space Center to Fort Erie, but for Akash Vangani, it's a trip worth taking. The deputy chief engineer with NASA's Launch Services program volunteered his time for a series of talks in Western New York and Southern Ontario in the lead-up to the April 8th eclipse.
One of the big things with NASA is you like to go ahead and you like to spread the word and encourage and inspire students. And so I've always been about that, love doing that type of work. And so when NASA decided that they were going to support this eclipse event, they needed volunteers to go along the path of totality and basically spread the word about science, technology, engineering, and math, and really to inspire people. That's what NASA is all about.
Tell me a little bit about your presentation today. What are you trying to get across?
So I work for the Launch Services program, and so basically we end up sending spacecraft to go study the Earth, the Sun, the Moon, and other planets. I'm a deputy chief engineer there on the rocket side. So my job is to make sure that rockets are going to work and deliver spacecraft to where they need to go. So I'm going to talk quite a bit about rockets in general, how we use those rockets, where those rockets go, and and some of the great missions that we've been a part of, and then talk a little bit about the eclipse and what the eclipse is and how to safely view the eclipse.
Has Monday's eclipse captured the public's attention differently than in the past?
I think so. Back, I remember in 2017, it was a big deal, but it was a very small part of the country that actually got to see it, just because of, all the states that are going to be in the pathway of, the totality. I think there's a lot of attention there. And this eclipse, we won't see another eclipse like this in the United States for another 20 years. And so this is a great opportunity for, you can almost reach the path of totality from anywhere in the United States right now to watch this. So I think that's why it's so much bigger than what we saw in 2017.
Vangani knows firsthand how an event like the eclipse can impact the children that witness it.
Kids these days are getting smarter and smarter, and we want them in our field, right? I'm not going to be around forever, and so we need to bring in that next generation and to really inspire them. I was obviously inspired when I was 4 years old and saw my first shuttle launch and said, that's what I want to be a part of. And so coming to places like Niagara Falls or, where I was, growing up in Detroit, where you don't see a rocket launch every day, really to inspire those kids to be a part of NASA and its culture is incredible.
When the eclipse ends, Akash will return to the Kennedy Space Center, where he will continue in his role with the Launch Services program.
We have a couple really big missions coming up this year. So I'll be supporting the GOES-U mission, which is scheduled for June. And then I have a really big mission, which I'll be the chief engineer for in October, a mission called Europa Clipper that's going to one of the Jupiter moons. And so we are going to be just getting back to work, getting ready for that mission.